cities and towns as far away as Geelong, Ararat, Bendigo, and smaller towns such as Maryborough, Daylesford, Beaufort, Warwick, Blanford and Bannockburn, and many more. Robert is the only member of the vintage brass band, both past and present, who can boast that he's had both his parents come listen to him playing the vintage brass band. Some good genes in that family, I think. Robert has also been very supportive and instrumental in training many juniors over his whole brass band life. His interest in training younger members of the band started before even his own children started learning brass instruments. He has, over the years, been the training band musical director on several occasions. It would be fair to say that hundreds of brass band musicians have been taught by Robert Pattie. Even today, he still assists the training band of Ballarat City Brass. Robert was made a life member of Ballarat City Brass Band in 1992, and in 1995 was appointed musical director, a position he held continuously for 10 years. He's also been the assistant musical director since 2005. He's also been the band librarian and historian for over 25 years. As the band historian and also an avid history buff on brass bands, he decided to write the history of the Ballarat City Brass Band from its formation in 1887 up until the year 2000. This book was released in 2000 and was approximately 180 pages of facts, names, and other details of the competitions from around Ballarat and the history of the band. In 2010, he re-released the book with an added 220 pages of a more detailed history of the band from 2000 to 2010. In 2012, he released another book about Ballarat Brass Band called Prout's Ballarat Brass Band. This band was formed in 1857 in the goldfields of Ballarat and went on to be one of the most highly decorated drill bands in Australian history. Unfortunately, that band did fold in 1924. Robert Pattie has been and still is the backbone of the Ballarat City Brass Band. He's been a member of the band as a junior and senior playing member for over 60 years and still contributes over and above the expected of any musician in a band. He still acts as the band librarian and can tell you what any piece of music in the library is just by giving you the title. And that's apparently over 127 years of music tucked away in there. Robert's time in the band has been very busy. He's held every committee position within the band. He never wanted to be president, but in November last year, he finally relented and took on the role. He's been an active committee member on and off for more than 40 years. Whilst Robert may not be as famous as some of the other Ballarat City Brass Band legends, such as Percy Coate and Frank Wright, his input into the Ballarat City Brass Band has helped keep the band alive and still actively training future band musicians for the future. Congratulations, Robert Pattie.
Thanks very much, VBL and all the people associated with the banding community. I'm completely overwhelmed because I didn't know this was going to happen. Yes, I've had a fair bit to do with reading all about Frank Wright and doing the history of that I actually wrote. If anybody's interested, all Frank Wright's scrapbooks came back to Ballarat University a couple of years ago. As far as I know, I went out there and had a look at them. They're very interesting. Everything he used to do, both in Victoria and overseas. When he went overseas, he kept the cuttings and he put them in his scrapbooks. While he was here conducting the Ballarat City Band in the 1920s, every time the band played down the street, he'd write a bit for the Ballarat Courier and then go and put it in the Ballarat Courier before he went home, so it would be in the next day's Courier. So he ended up with all these cuttings of all the great things he did. And my grandfather, Bert